Welcome, Philly, to your favorite sports show, Broad, hosted by Jesse Town and Sam Wilson. They're smart, they're sexy, and they're all Philly. So thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome into Babes on Broad pregame live week 12. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, we got our little setups here. I'm Sam Wilson with my co-host Jesse Town, and we're the Babes on Broad, brought to you by Bleeding Green Nation and SB Nation. We want to thank everybody for tuning in right away again this week. I know it's hard to get enthusiastic about this team, but we're trying to do it. We're trying to have it for everybody. Just for those that don't know, we also have our live on Instagram as well, so it's not connected to everything else. So it's a little different. They don't get the pregame intro and stuff, and we fixed the echo, thankfully. So we think. So with all that being said, we're about to take you into this Monday Night Football matchup between the 3-6-1 Philadelphia Eagles and the 7-3 Seattle Seahawks. Before we get started on that, I don't know if I can share on that just yet. But before we get started in that, we're obviously virtual. Jess, what do you have for food and drink today?
So I'm drinking wine. Just everyone start drinking. Cheers, everyone.
Start now.
Drinking some white wine. Yep, start now. You'll feel okay by game time, we hope. And last night I made chicken parm and baked ziti with ground turkey. And that is what we're having for dinner tonight, leftovers. Delicious. And I'm so excited because ziti just... like a whole week of ziti is just the best thing.
I know. That's the best thing about it, especially right now because we don't have kids. We just have us and our significant others. Casseroles last and like pastas last forever, and it's just great.
So good.
With that being said.
Yeah, what are you having?
I'm drinking Mad Elf by Trogs, which I don't understand why Trogs is not sponsoring me yet because Mad Elf, but Trogs beer in general is my favorite and my fiance's favorite, and they should sponsor us for sure by now, but they don't. So we'll work on that. But so today is Mad Elf. And the reason I chose it, not only is it super cute, but because it is 11% and we need that starting early, because this game's going to stress us out. So I have that to drink. And then I also have leftover pasta. I made like a sausage Alfredo casserole kind of thing yesterday, and it turned out delicious. Dion ate his, and I have a little piece that I ate, and we still have a quarter of it left. So it lasts forever, but that'll be delicious. So
this is absolutely true. Need 11% alcohol.
Oh, wait, that's so perfect. I didn't even think of that.
Oh, wait, that's even better. Wait, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Birds. All right. Well, I guess that's going to take us right into it. We're going to, everyone keep drinking. We're going to talk about the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, Lane Johnson's season is done. That's the first big news of the week. Shout out to Lane for doing what he did and battling and playing as hard as he could through there. I think he kind of just probably he saw Carson just getting destroyed back there and just said, if I can do something about it, I'm going to try. I think he's one of those players that this city loves for that reason. And I hope that he's able to get healthy and, wish him a smooth recovery so he can come back and be himself again in 2021.
No, and I completely agree with that. And I'm kind of thankful that it's happening now instead of him pushing himself to even further extent, just because, I've been saying all season, I 100% appreciate Lane for doing that. And what a guy for doing all he's done and pushing through it. But my biggest thing was I knew this team wasn't going to, if they did win the NFC East, like how far are they really going to go? They're not Super Bowl contenders, clearly. So, like, to me, it just wasn't worth it.
What do you mean? I don't know. I haven't seen any team that's better. I don't know what you mean.
But so to me, it made no sense to have him push through. I respect him for trying, but I don't want it to hurt him in the long run because he is a solid piece that we need in the future for sure.
Yeah. And then continuing on with many offensive line injuries, it was kind of, I mean, the Eagles, like, I feel like tried to make it kind of like slide under the radar.
Right.
I thought this was strange, but so they announced that Jason Peters would be moving back to right guard. That happened last week, Wednesday or Thursday. Then Friday occurs and we find out that Lane's done for the year. Okay. So we're like, all right, maybe they're just trying to shore up that right side a little bit more, but they would rather, they really want Jack Driscoll playing at right tackle or whatever, right? And then it comes out today that Jason Peters has been limited in practice with a toe injury. Well, today it was released that the toe is broken, it's dislocated, and he needs surgery after the season. So basically, he's moving back to right guard to limit the mobility that he has to have and the amount that he has to move because of this toe issue.
But see, my issue with that is so exactly what you said, featuring Nelly. If you can't tell, hello, Nelly.
I know.
But my issue with that whole thing, so that story came out and that kind of view of it. But then Trey Thomas put out about an hour ago now on Twitter that he doesn't really understand the move because guards, they face quicker action and bigger bodies. So he basically said straight up front, I don't know how they expect this to help a toe for JP. So I don't know how much that's actually truthful on their part. We'll see. I mean, I think they're just kind of using it as an excuse to get Mylato over there and do that. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it works out. They're running out of linemen at this point, so hopefully he can last. And it works out.
I'm so fed up because Sua Opeta just went on the IR because of a bulging disc. I mean, the Eagles are straight up out of linemen. They're all there. Like, you got no other options right now. Yeah. Now, I will say, the only, the thing that balances this out a little bit is the Seahawks are kind of in the same boat. The Seahawks, their starting right tackle is out with an ankle injury. And both of their guards were limited in practice this week with injuries. So they're injury ridden as well. And a bunch of their, two of their backup guards, I think there's a backup tackle and a backup, or maybe their backup center and one of their backup guards are both out this week as well with an injury. So they are equally as banged up on that offensive line. The Eagles are a little bit more, but they've got some injuries up front on the offensive side as well. So
the one thing that they have going, yeah, you're right about that. The one thing that they have going for them though, is that their coaches will call Russell Wilson out of the pocket. And he actually happens to be great at that, go figure, but they're not afraid to call him out of the pocket and he will run around this team. So that'll be interesting to watch, I guess, but we'll see.
So let's kind of get into that. Our key matchups to watch. So
wait, before that.
Oh, what I missed?
The one good thing about this line, Jason Kelce, 100 games in a row.
The one positive, 100 consecutive starts at center for the Iron Man, Jason Kelce. What a guy.
What a guy.
I mean, what a guy.
Yeah, literally. That's just the phrase that sums it up. What a guy.
What a guy. Just start to finish. Everything about him. What a guy. Oh,
and it's the longest active streak in the NFL right now. So that's awesome too.
And especially after, he was hurt last week. Like, he was hurt. He couldn't lift his arm up to snap his own helmet on. Someone had to do that for him because he was that hurt. And he was still out there just doing what he does, being himself.
What a guy.
Absolutely what a guy. So, key matchups to watch. And I think this goes both ways.
Yeah.
The Eagles D-line against the beat-up Seattle offensive line. Now, the Eagles have a much better defensive front than the Seattle Seahawks. But the Eagles are as injured on the front of their offense as anybody in the NFL. So the trench matchups this week are going to be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, you're right on that. And that's one thing that'll be interesting because, like you said, the Eagles D line, it's just over and over and over again this year. We talk about it. On paper, they should win these matchups on paper.
Yes.
But it will be interesting to see if they actually do that this time because we talk about it every single game. Where's my man Fletch at? Where's BG? We got to see him. Malik Jackson. Let's get all of them.
We got to see him. And
go ahead.
I was just going to say the Seattle offensive line has historically been bad with Russell Wilson as well. Not ever has he had an offensive line that protects him in the way that they should. So, as wonderful and as impressive as Russ can be, he gets hit a lot and he gets sacked a lot. And that's because that offensive line is bad. With these guys, Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, Javon Hargrave, Brandon Graham, these are names we should hear and hear a lot tonight.
Hopefully. I'm hoping, Jess. But with that being said, there's also another key matchup, and it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks pass defense, which is is it actually 32nd in the league?
It's actually the worst in the NFL.
The actual worst in the league. I know it was either 31 or 32, but it's actually literally the worst.
It's worse than the Dallas Cowboys.
But lucky for them, we aren't that good on the other side of the ball right now. So
okay, can we talk about the elephant in the room? Can we just get into it? Because we've got a bunch of people sitting here that are here.
Let's get into it. The elephant in the room.
And I would love to hear your opinion on this as well. Because we didn't chat about this after this happened. A lot of holiday and everything. We didn't get our second episode in this week. So let's talk about it. This report comes out earlier this week or late last week, whenever the heck it was, that Jalen Hurts is getting more snaps with the ones, right? Now, you see a headline. Headline is supposed to grab you, right? Headline is supposed to bring you in. Headline is supposed to make you want to read what's there or click. What the meat of the report was that they were running plays with Jalen Hurts under center, but now they actually realize that 10 on 11 football doesn't work. And they should also take Carson Wentz off the field when they run these plays with Jalen Hurts. Because then once Jalen Hurts hands the ball off, for example, then it's 9 on 11 football. And those odds don't get any better than 10 on 11. So the Eagles, let's give a reality check here, finally decided to incorporate him in plays without Carson Wentz on the field. What a concept. You know what, Sam? It's not like you and I said that way back when before they played the Cincinnati Bengals. It's not like you and I said that. We talked about that back then. We said if you're going to use him as a quarterback, use him what he can do, and take Carson off the field. They did half of that. They let him throw one pass that week. It was amazing. What a time to be alive. Also, let's keep in mind that before they played the Baltimore Ravens, Jalen Hurts was out there being Lamar Jackson. It wouldn't be far off for him to be playing with the ones so that the Eagles' first string defense was playing against that kind of guy. Yeah. So that could be part of it as well. But ultimately, I mean, I just think that, again, it's this whole big quarterback controversy that the Eagles have manufactured themselves. They've created this on their own. It's absolutely ridiculous. And again, they would do this against the worst pass defense in the NFL. Why would you actually design a good game plan for your $120 million quarterback when you could actually just throw a bunch of wrenches in it and just be like, whatever?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It makes no sense.
To me, and it's just creating this uproar that doesn't need to be there, because in reality, they finally just drew up the same, probably the same BS plays for Jalen Hurts, but they have an extra wide receiver out there instead of, I'm sorry, your franchise quarterback, or you were having out there blocking corners for no reason.
No, and you summed it up perfectly. There's literally two good things about this, and that is one, pulling Carson off the field when Hurts is out there, which we're still on debate about how much we even want to see him out there, but at least Carson won't be out there with him. And then two, the whole maybe he's trying to reenact Russell Wilson kind of thing. But to me, in that aspect, I mean, I know people will probably call me crazy for this, but when we do see Carson out of pocket, that is when he kind of emulates Russell Wilson. His technique is not far off. It's kind of very similar games. So that's where I'm just like, you're going to pull in Hurts to emulate Russell Wilson instead of actually using Carson out of the pocket, which is very similar to Wilson's game out of the pocket. So, I mean,
stupid.
Yeah, it just, so I don't know, but those are two of the most positive ways to look at this. We'll call it that.
I mean, they just, I don't understand. I just don't understand at this point. I mean, I think every decision they're making is absolutely asinine, and I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of these decision-making meetings because I don't know what the hell goes on with them right now. And to be completely honest, I mean, something we also have to keep in mind is, the media is not there anymore, right? Like, they're not allowed in practice like they usually are. So anything that they're seeing is from live streams that they're allowed to watch or something else. And, they're not there completely. And also, Doug's not giving you anything in a press conference. The only reason I watch him is to get injury information before we do an episode.
And even that, you don't even know what to believe or how to take it or anything.
Right. And ultimately, I really just think it comes down to, Howie has too much power. He's making way too many decisions. There's no reason that he should be the one deciding who dresses and who doesn't on game day. And, people have been talking about how it looks like Doug's kind of checked out, or Doug, there was a report that came out this week actually from BLG at Bleeding Green Nation said, Doug wouldn't be upset if he was fired. Honestly, as a Super Bowl winning head coach, there are a couple teams in the NFL that would kill to have Doug Peterson.
And give him so much more power.
Right. You know who would call Doug Peterson first? The Houston Texans. The Houston Texans would be on the phone with Doug Peterson in a heartbeat because Doug Peterson actually can be successful, but he's not I mean, there's too many decisions being made from too high up that I think, Doug might be throwing his hands up. Now, granted, I think Doug's been bad this year. And I think Carson's been bad this year. But ultimately, we talked about this in our episode this week. It starts with Howie. And if something's got to give, it's got to be in the terms of power that's going on there. And, Joe and I actually talked about this a lot this week. When he took the reins back from Chip Kelly, there was probably an agreement of some kind in place that was like, hey, just so you know, if I'm taking this back, I got everything and you're not taking that away from me again.
Yeah.
So it's an absolute, as you so eloquently put it, poop show in the Philadelphia Eagles organization currently.
Fun stuff, right? What do
you think? What do you think about Jalen Hurts? Like possibly getting snaps with the ones, those plays? Like what is your gut feel on what that actually is?
What do you mean? Like what I think should happen or what I think they're trying to do?
Both. Like when you saw that report come out this week, were you like, oh my God, it's starting. Oh my God, they're going to bench Carson. Or were you more of what I was feeling and like, hey, they just took Carson Wentz off the field, which is what they should have been doing this whole time when they put Jalen Hurts on the field. Like what was your reaction and what do you think they should do?
So I think, when I first saw it, I was like, interesting, because we don't know what they're thinking. And that's the hardest part about it is like, we kind of broke down already the positives and the negatives, and you take the positives of it. Carson's not on the field. Maybe he could emulate Russell Wilson, and that's going to help our defense for this game. And then that would make more sense, and I'd be okay with that. There also could be another aspect if Carson comes out and is absolutely terrible or has a rough game like he's been having, to give them confidence to just throw Jalen out there and be like, what the heck, Carson, you need this. So maybe that's kind of going on. And if those are the cases, I'd be fine with that. Yeah. If it's a whole, we don't know how Carson really feels about it. If it's a whole thing where Carson is sitting there and he feels threatened, then that's not good. And then it is that whole thing that we've been saying this whole time. It's just even further, them creating a QB controversy. You know what I mean? So it's so hard to even really kind of point what is happening when they are so secretive and there's so many things, like everything that they have given us. Yeah, they've literally put it out there. And then it's like us being psycho girlfriends as fans trying to read into every single thing. It's exactly what it is. And like we have no
comparison.
It's exactly what it is.
It's like a vague boyfriend who's like kind of like he's like hiding his phone from you, and you're like, I need to get to the bottom of this mess. And you're just like an absolute psycho, refreshing the Twitter 24/7, looking at their like tweets, seeing if there's anything weird there. What's Carson Wentz liking? What? No, that's
like that's why I think it's so hard to even like formulate a real, true opinion on it. Just for that fact alone, we're literally reading into every aspect, and they probably mean nothing by it. And we're just like, oh, making this big thing. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm trying to like just, maybe they have reasons. And I try to read the positives of it, which we've already said. But with that being said,
move on. We have to just address this because this is so sweet.
Oh, thank you.
Listening to us every week, even when we spend the time screaming. You know what? That's the Eagles' fault. I'm so sorry we have to scream all the time, but we're
yelling for everybody else to give them, you know, like help you guys.
Yeah. All right. So, what you were going to say with that? What are your keys to the game on the offense?
Okay, I'm going to put this up while we talk so people can have some positivity.
Yes.
Okay. But so because of the whole Hurts situation, we have literally no clue really what's going to happen. Right. And I have no faith anymore. But as what I think should be clear that we're going up against the 32nd best pass defense in the league right now. And if anything is going to actually bust Carson out and give him his true shot of redemption and give these guys a chance, it's going to be tonight against the 32nd best defense pass defense in the league. Why not try to build that confidence and get things rolling against this? But with the whole Jalen Hurts thing, with the weather, with all these factors coming in, with the O-line and everything, I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. It should be on paper like our chance, but I don't know how that's going to play out. So we'll see if it does become Carson's ultimate redemption and the guys around him get it going. I'm not necessarily sure that's going to happen.
Try to combine those words. It happens.
I know. So what about yours? Maybe you can make it more positive.
Not really. Like, to be completely honest, I think we see the same exact BS we've been seeing for the last 12 weeks. Like, I mean, they'll lean on the run early, make us think that we're like, finally. And then someone will make some stupid mistake. They'll go pass heavy in a damn monsoon tornado warning, and they'll be doing all of this stupid stuff. I mean, and it will continue to be a poop show. Like, I mean, we'll see 4 useless plays from Jalen Hurts that amount to nothing. But what should happen is, I mean, they need to have a run-heavy offense tonight. I mean, anybody in the greater Philadelphia area that's experiencing this weather right now, if you try to throw the ball 50 times in this, you should be fired on the spot. I don't care who you are. You need to be fired on the spot if you're throwing the ball 50 times in this mess.
Yeah, and that's
ridiculous.
Just to go along with that, it is going to be interesting to see because we know how easily they give up the run, but the weather will call for it. And then the fact that they most likely will be trailing a good amount of this game. So that'll also play into it.
Hey, you're getting too negative for me, and I'm not sure how I feel about it at this point.
All right.
So what should happen is they need to lean on Miles Sanders, have a run-heavy attack, use the weapon that you drafted in the second round, like the best draft pick you've made in the last 10 years at this point. Let him carry you. Like, trust what you've got from that end instead of trying to get this cluster of an offensive line to hold a pocket for Carson Wentz. And to go along with that, hey, let's leave Jalen Hurts on the sideline where he belongs and roll Carson out of the pocket the way he's supposed to when he's throwing the ball.
Give him a true chance to start rolling.
Right. If you don't get him in that rhythm, it's useless. And that's what they need to do. They need to take a little bit of pressure off of the offensive line, and they need to take some of that pressure off Carson by letting him do what he does best. And I don't understand why we're still screaming for this to happen in week 12, because at this point, you're what, 3-6-1 is their record at this point? They're 3-6-1. They're a mess. why are you not, like, I don't understand why it's taking you so long to do what they need to do to be able to be successful. Last week, 13:49 left in the fourth quarter. That was the first designed rollout for Carson Wentz. And then Doug doubled down on it in his presser and goes, "Oh, well, we had a bunch more called, but Carson checked out of them and checked down to run plays at the line." Shut up. Stop it. No. I don't care. At that point, every pass play you call should be getting Carson Wentz out of the pocket. I quite literally don't care about anything else. They need to use him the way he is successful. I refuse to believe that this guy who could have been the MVP in 2017, this guy who held the touchdown, holds the touchdown record for Philadelphia Eagles quarterbacks, this guy who was leading the league in touchdowns in 2017 until week 17 when the Seattle Seahawks were fighting for a place in the playoffs. So Russell Wilson had to go out there and ball out. Russell Wilson did not pass him on the total touchdown passes that season until week 17. Carson Wentz got hurt in the third quarter of week 14. It took 3 weeks for a quarterback to pass him. I refuse to believe that guy just forgot how to play football and doesn't know what he's doing. The fact that he's not being put in the best position to succeed is absolutely catastrophic to this organization. I firmly believe if they trade Carson Wentz, get rid of Carson Wentz, all of a sudden make Jalen Hurts the starter, that will haunt this organization for the rest of time. Till the end of time.
I don't even want to think of that. I can't even think of that. But you're exactly right. It's not Carson. Play to his strengths. Not only is that his key strength to get out of the pocket, which we've been calling for this entire season, his offensive line. This is the 10th different starting lineup for their offensive line in 11 games.
It's so bad.
Let him not defend, or what word am I trying? Rely on them. We'll say rely. Let him not rely on them to protect him this entire time. Make him get out of the pocket. He's better. His arm's better. His vision's better. Everything's better. He's just more comfortable. Pull him out of the pocket.
Seriously.
Please.
We
call for it every week.
You want an offensive coordinator by committee? You got your committee right here. Right here. Yeah. We got you. We could design a better game plan than anything you've done so far this season. And here's the thing. Listen, don't come at us and be like, "Oh, well, you love Carson so much." Blah, blah. Carson has been bad, but he's not the only thing that has been bad. We talked about this week 1, this constant cycle of, Howie created a terrible roster, but Doug Peterson isn't utilizing them correctly, and Carson Wentz is not playing up to his best ability either, but it's because of this awful roster that's been constructed that Doug Peterson isn't using the right way. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle, and it's never going to end. What do you think on the defensive side, Sam? What are the keys to success for the Philadelphia Eagles on the defensive side?
I feel a sneeze coming on, so I'm trying to hold it in. But
would you like me to go so you can handle your sneeze?
No, I think I got it. I think I actually said sneeze, and then it kind of made it go away. So maybe that's the thing.
Bless you. There you go.
But no. So I think this is going to be a tough game for our secondary. I mean, besides Darius Slay, who is going to have he should be on DK, obviously, and he's going to have his work cut out for him. He quite literally is going to have to play his best game to cover DK, and we'll see how that goes. Everybody else on our secondary, I have no faith in right now. So they'll only be able to do so much. We're just out talented right now. You know what I mean? We're going to get, So, I mean, the only thing we can pray for positively on our defense is the fact that our D-line has a good game and puts pressure on Russell Wilson. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I am going to preface this by saying, now, what I don't want to hear tonight on any side is I don't want to hear anything about what Justin Jefferson did this week. I don't want to hear any comparisons about Jalen Reagor and Justin Jefferson. And here's why. I'm still bitter about DK. I don't know if I'll ever get over that. Quite honestly, because if you stand watching no film, looking at no stats, doing absolutely nothing, you put DK Metcalf and JJ Arcega-Whiteside standing next to each other and say, pick one to be your NFL wide receiver, I'm not hesitating in picking DK. Here's the thing. Not hesitating at all. And I think all 32 NFL teams that passed on him once are idiots for doing so. I'm just quite, I'm not going to get over that one. That's ridiculous. However, I'm not going to say that him being here would mean he'd be utilized in the proper way. So let's lay off Jalen Reagor for a second. I don't want to hear a single word about comparing him to Justin Jefferson at this point, because Justin Jefferson had a phenomenal game. You flip the roles and we draft Jefferson at 21 and the Vikings take Reagor at 22. Reagor's having the same season that Justin Jefferson is having up in Minnesota.
No, I agree on that.
And we're freaking out about, oh, it's an LSU bust, blah, 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 blah. We're freaking out about the same thing because of that reason. I'm not saying that Howie can evaluate talent, because we all know he can't, as, you know, right here. I love me some Jordan Matthews, but I mean, yeah, we got it. I understood, right? But I still don't have any faith that anyone would be utilized in the proper way. And I think you see that in the way that guys are leaving here. Mike Groh couldn't incorporate, and the Philadelphia Eagles could not incorporate Golden Tate into the offense. That says everything you need to know. So that also goes into what I'm going to say on the defensive side. Darius Slay needs to be on DK Metcalf. I don't care what Jim Schwartz's mentality, what his system is. I don't care. I need Darius Slay to walk up to Jim Schwartz and go, hey, Jim, you see that number 14 over there? I'm just going to follow him around the field the whole time, okay? Maybe put Rodney over top at some point just in case, but I'm just going to follow him wherever he goes. I don't care what you have to say about it, but if you need me, that's where I'll be. And that's what needs to happen there.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. But other than that, the front needs to be strong. Exactly what you said. That defensive line needs to be strong tonight, especially against the run. And they need to do, I mean, the linebackers, Lord help us all, need to play at a high level to be able to contain Russell Wilson. Now, a guy like Davion Taylor, they utilized him a little bit actually in that Ravens game. And we talked about that before, getting a guy with some of that speed in there to make sure that, you know, the quarterback kind of stays where they need to be and they're not breaking out long runs left and right. Obviously we saw him in coverage, not great. But spying on Russ a little bit could be very helpful with a guy with that amount of speed. So, you know, can they do it? Yes. Will they? Who the heck knows at this point? It would be like, I'll give you my score. My score is I still have the Eagles winning 24-20 because as we're sitting here and crapping all over everything that they've done for the last 12 weeks, I fully expect for the Eagles to just win this game and torment us all because it's what they do. They're going to win this game. They're going to go back right up to first place. And they're going to try to draw us all back in with a flawless performance.
Yep. I mean,
we hope.
We'll see, because it's either going to be that or it's going to be a poop show.
Yeah.
But I don't know, though, because I do think, so my score, I have Seattle winning 27-22. I think that the Eagles will put up a shot because they do play well on primetime. And I expect Seattle to play maybe down a little bit because it's just only natural for a team that good. So I do think it might be closer than a lot of people are saying, but I think Seattle will still get it. So yeah, for that 27-22. But I also saw something, I don't know who it was. If it was somebody from Bleeding Green Nation or if it was some other Eagles reporter, but somebody did say they give out their score 33-30. The Eagles would edge it out. And if we do win, I see it being a close 3 to 1 point differential in the 30s because we're chasing and we edge out. So that's what I do see if we win. I don't know if that's going to happen. I would like it to happen. But as for what I think, 27-22 Seattle.
Yeah. And, you know, continue to drop your scores in the comments right now. We'll read them out loud if you think the Eagles or the Seahawks are going to win. I mean, I think it'll be interesting because the Eagles do play really well on primetime, but, you know, there's some other factors in there too. And, the Eagles are beat up. Talent. Yes. Talent, execution, coaching. Ugh, what a time. Hey, I mean, but this is right on with what you said, you know? they're going to edge it out, but it's going to be close, but they're going to be chasing, which is fine. 17-9, because why not? Which is the score that was the score both times they played the Seahawks last year, which is funny.
Geez. That is funny. I never even noticed. Last year, they both had the same score.
Yes, they played them twice and had the same score. I firmly believe, though, Jadeveon Clowney, I swear to God, without him, I think they would have blown the Seahawks out that game. I absolutely think they would have blown the Seahawks out.
Maybe there's going to be some locker room bulletin board material from that. Maybe they remember that.
You'd hope, but he doesn't play there anymore, so it's really
no. I'm saying for the Eagles, though, to be like, hey,
you'd hope. You'd hope. Seahawks 28, Birds 21, 31-17. Seattle, close game. What? Oh, then pick 6 to seal it. Oh, kill me. Oh, kill me. Kill me. Kill me if that's what happens. Please.
Literally, that would be the worst.
This is true. This is the type of game that the Eagles would win. Like,
it is very true.
This is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do to us.
But it's part of the reason why I'm like, hey, I'll root against them, because anytime I bet for any Philadelphia team, it goes the opposite way. So maybe it's starting to become that when I do my picks each week,
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll try everything. What the heck?
We'll try everything.
Ready to get into some prop bets?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Who has more passing yards today? Taking the weather and tornado warning until 7 p.m. Oh, we've got zoomies. Someone's very excited about the Eagles in here today. Who has more passing yards, Carson or Russell Wilson?
I think it'll be close. But I think Russell will have ultimately more.
We got one. Carson, let's go.
He's trying to redeem himself with positivity after his prediction.
After his game prediction. Russ, easy. Yeah. I mean, I do think Russell Wilson has more passing yards, but I still think the Eagles end up winning the game.
I like it. Russell Wilson, let's just talk about it real quick. Not even a fangirl on an Eagles show. Is so underrated. I love that guy.
So underrated. It's amazing to me that he's still as underrated as he is.
That one just performs amazing. So talented. Always has great numbers. Always takes his team to somewhere. And then off the field does what a man does. You know what I mean? Like, he's literally just an all-around great guy. And he's still underrated.
Remember when his wife, cheated on him with a teammate? How do you do that to that person?
Actually, I don't remember that. Wow.
I don't remember if it was either Percy.
We were young because him and Sierra have been together for a while, right?
I think it was, yes. I think it was Percy Harvin. He had,
you're right. You're right.
How do you do that? He seems like just a wonderful human being.
She should regret that.
I mean, yes, but he also has an absolute gorgeous little family with Sierra.
Everything happens for a reason. Cheers to Russell. I hope he'll lose, but cheers to Russell.
What did he just name their latest child? Win?
Yeah, something like that. I think it's Win.
Which I think is
Win Wilson, though.
Win Wilson. That's actually kind of cute. That's really cute. Your name's going to be Samantha Stafford.
Yeah, you're right. Alliteration.
Yeah, well,
it's in now.
Yeah, it's in now. All right. So we've got one on Instagram also saying Wentz. Now, who has more rushing yards? Carson or Russell Wilson?
I'm gonna say Russell.
You gonna say Russell? Who else?
I would hope that it would be Carson, and if the coaches were smart, it could be Carson. But out of what we
know how that goes.
Russell,
coordinator by committee. Everyone.
Oh, hurts.
This wasn't an option. This wasn't an option.
Interesting, though. It's interesting because if these Eagles coaches are going to have a rushing quarterback or make their quarterback, I shouldn't say let their quarterback run, that's probably the best option looking at what they've been recently doing.
But at this point, it's quite literally just so predictable that he's not going anywhere other than being
You're so right.
Behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, yes. Joe's checking in to let us know, not Chris Carson, because he's going against Chris Carson this week in fantasy, and all he needs is one more win to secure his playoff spot, which means he doesn't have to sit in a Waffle House for 24 hours.
There you go.
As a punishment. Let's see. Russ, but Sanders will have more than Chris Carson if they decide to give him the ball. Yes.
Okay. I like it.
Yes. That's all I have to say.
I hope.
Do the Eagles have a 100-yard receiver today against the worst defense in the NFL? And if
Let's see Travis Fulgham light them up.
That means they have to target him in the first half.
You're right, but I want to see. Maybe they've been holding him out so people think that they aren't going to target him, and then, boom, end of the season, Travis Fulgham's their main guy. I don't know. Maybe it's playing into the key. Oh, I like that.
That's if they have a 100-yard receiver today, it will be Dallas Goedert because that man cannot be tackled.
I like
Jalen Reagor. You know what? Do you know how much I would love to see?
That'd be great.
I would love that, and for Darius Slay to absolutely shut down DK Metcalf. That would make my heart so happy. Honestly,
he's gonna have his work cut out for him.
Oh yeah,
that's a tough dude to tackle. Darius Slay's obviously talented, but just size differential.
That's what I kept saying. You can teach a guy how to run better routes. You cannot teach big as hell. Like you cannot teach being absolutely enormous.
Dude, I feel like that goes for every sport. I was a college volleyball player. I didn't even start playing volleyball until my junior year of high school. I was in a back brace on the sideline for like a couple months, and I was still getting college scouts recruiting me because I was tall. You can't teach height.
You can't teach tall.
You can't.
Simple.
It's the same thing.
Over under 2 turnovers for the Eagles offense. I don't even want to see the responses. Well,
because
Chris
it's wet.
Having a pick-6. Because it's wet.
I think it's over because it's going to be slippery. I think it's not going to be a pretty game on either side of the ball because of that fact.
We're going to push. That's what happened last week too. I think a lot of people pushed it because of wet, and there was obviously the one ugly pick-6, but then there was the fumble, and I think that was it for him. Right? They only turned it over twice. Only. I say only. Like that's an accomplishment that they only turned the ball over.
For them, maybe.
Yeah. You know, at 3-6-1, only turning the ball over twice is an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Over under 2 turnovers for the Eagles defense.
I'll push that one.
Push that one. All right. Fair enough. Nola's just staring at me like, what are you doing right now, Mom? All right. Let's see. Over. We got an over. Love that. Let's go. Love an over for the defense. Hey, that's Joe being positive for once this season. He's never this positive. This is exciting. Oh, see, Mark. Usually, Mark's we're here, and this is. Oh, Joe's just trying to speak this into existence. That's really what it is.
That's why.
That's all. He has no confidence in the Eagles' defense. He's just trying to speak into existence the fact that Chris Carson is going to have a poor game. What is it, like 19 points you have to work with? Yeah, it's like 19-ish points that he can't have from Chris Carson to win.
Oh,
all right. Miles Sanders has never had 20-plus touches in a game since being drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. With the weather, and after last week, over under 20 touches for Miles Sanders today.
Under. Just because of the fact that I see them trailing a lot of this game, and we know what they do when they trail. They don't run the ball. So even though I would love to see it happen because of the weather and other reasons, I don't think it will.
I'm still going to go with under just because.
Yeah. That's so interesting though. I saw that and I was like, how?
Also, what's Carson's record when it's like I forget what it is. It's like when there's a balanced running and passing attack, his record is like astronomical. And when he throws the ball like more than, I forget how many times, he's like 6-18-1.
Dude, it's just not even funny how they don't utilize this team's strengths at all, like all around on this offense. And it's so frustrating because they literally have pieces that could make them such a balanced offense that every team dreams of. And they just don't use it. And it's so frustrating.
It's a crime. It is. Someone should be arrested for managing this team as they are. Okay. Over under 100 yards rushing total for the Eagles. So that's Miles, Boston Scott, Jordan. Did they bring Jordan Howard up off the practice squad? I don't think they did.
I don't think they activated him this week.
I don't think they activated him either. And Carson. So between the three of them.
I don't know if it'll happen, but I will say over just because it should happen, especially with this weather.
Yeah, let's keep speaking it into existence.
Yeah.
Over.
It should.
Over under 100 yards rushing, for the Seattle Seahawks. So they've got
under on that one.
They've got Chris Carson, Carlos Hyde, and obviously Russell Wilson.
And DK Metcalf. Oh no, rushing, sorry. But because they have DK Metcalf and other weapons, I think they go under.
Weather will be gone by game time. Sanders will continue to be underutilized. Well, that's sad.
You can't drive the field, though. There will still be some wetness.
I think they've had the tarp on most of the day, but I guess we'll see. Well, they
would have to. That would be flooded
at some point. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Their Lincoln Financial Field would be an absolute fish tank at this point. Way over. Russell Wilson will get 60 himself. Sheesh. Carlos Hyde, 150 and 2 touchdowns. You keep trying to speak that into existence over there. You keep trying as hard as you can from the couch.
We're supposed to be the positive pregame show, everybody.
Yeah, we're trying so hard.
But
yeah, I was going to say, your score prediction has not been very positive.
I'm just over here like dead face, like, yeah.
Right. Leading fantasy points getter for the Eagles tonight. People who have an Eagles player left who can expect them to bring them back to win.
I'm going to stick with Travis Fulgham. Let's see a big game from Fulgham. He's gone kind of blank the last couple weeks.
I know Gio has him. In fantasy.
There we go.
Big. All right, let's see. Jalen Reagor.
I like it.
I could really get on board with a Jalen Reagor game.
Me too.
Like that would be great. Or a Miles Sanders game. One of the other. We got Miles Sanders over here on the Instagram.
It would be so nice to sneak out a win here just for the plain fact that in 6 days, less than 6 days, we play a Green Bay Packers team that is just so depressing to think about.
And then they play
if we could just sneak out a win here, somehow, it'll make it better that we have to fly to Green Bay in 5 days.
Oi. Richard Rodgers, 2 red zone touchdowns. Ooh, Carson will have 275 and 3 touchdowns. Let's
speak it into existence.
Let's go. This is the most positive he's been about Carson Wentz in the last 4 months also. So
I like it.
Let's go. All right. Who is the star of the game on offense? Who is the Eagles' star of the game today from the offense?
I like other people saying Reagor and stuff because I like that, but I'm still just going to go with, because if everything else I say is true, it's going to be Travis Fulgham. I can't conflict. I got to go with the same thing, you know?
I'm going Jalen Reagor. Yep. Chris is all over it. Stop it. Stop it right now. No. No. Greg Ward. That's a good one. Although, let's talk about it. No more returning punts. He's terrible.
He is. Who was they put back there?
Jalen Reagor. Or Boston Scott.
I like Boston Scott.
Either one. I don't care. Literally anybody that's not Greg Ward. Put Carson Wentz back there for all I care. Not Greg Ward.
No, not Carson.
I'm just kidding.
That was an exaggeration, people, before you.
Carson will have to be. I like that. Miles Sanders, lock it up. Let's go. Star of the game on defense. Sam, speak it into existence.
Fletcher Cox, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Fletch.
Maybe this week will be the week. Who knows?
Glimpses. We keep seeing those glimpses. It's coming.
They're there. They're just there, but we need to have
a full, complete game, Fletch. Come on, Bubby.
Josh Sweat. Yes, I agree. Punt and or kick returns. Why not? What do you have to lose at this point? Yes. But Josh Sweat. I like it. Josh Sweat's been having a really good year.
I was going to say, he's been performing.
Yep. BG needs to get a sack. We've been, he had a really great start to the season. He's trod off a little.
A little bit, yeah.
And
he's got kind of like the Fletch, has pieces. We need to see it complete.
Yep. BG. We've got lots of BG fans in here tonight. All right. The $1 million question. Over under 4 plays for 1 Jalen Hurts.
I don't know, because it's one of those things. How do you take them having him practice with first team a lot this week? I'm going to push it. I'll say 4.
You'll say 4. We got over 10. I think 10's aggressive. Over. We got lots of overs. You know what?
I'm going to say 4 because I think we're trying to emulate Russell Wilson.
I'm going to go under because I think all
it's a trick
Eagles have done was create this absolute poop storm that didn't need to be here, as they tend to do.
You're right.
I think that they're going to go out there and there's going to be 2 plays with Jalen Hurts, and everyone's going to be like, "But you said no." That's my.
I hope.
And I'm speaking that into existence. Should have never drafted Jalen Hurts. Yes. It hurts me because you know where Jalen Hurts, I think could have gone that would be a really good place for him to be?
Where?
Chicago.
Oh, well, yeah, duh. Anybody. Jordan Love in Green Bay should have also gone to Chicago. Anybody.
Nola agrees.
Yeah.
Nola absolutely agrees. But
she said, get him out of here.
And I also I liked watching him in college. So I'm I hate for me and for him that he's an Eagle. Like, I hate it because of what it's created, but I also hate it for him. I think it's such a disservice to him as a player that he is here. I think there are plenty of other places that he could be successful and that he could not have all this extra BS going on, and it would be fine. And it's just such a mess. All right, we got some trivia, and then to wrap this up. How many times, and I'll be checking the Instagram as well. It's really hard to keep up with the things going on Instagram, but I think I've gotten all of the responses to our prop bets and stuff. But how many times has Russell Wilson lost to the Philadelphia Eagles? Insert Jeopardy music here. And that is correct.
Woo!
Never.
We got it.
Never.
I'm not really cheering for.
Never. Hey, you know what?
There's first time for everything.
First time for everything. There's a first time for everything.
How awesome would it be, though, real quick, for it to happen against this horrid Eagles team? So we've had some great Eagles teams in the past against this horrid team. That'd be awesome.
I mean, 2017, the Philadelphia Eagles, they looked like they forgot how to play football. And remember, that was coming out of a bye, which we know Doug Peterson doesn't do too hot with.
Yeah.
Coming out of a bye, they went and they were abysmal out in Seattle in 2017. And here's their chance. This terrible Philadelphia Eagles team, please go forth and beat the Seattle Seahawks.
I like it.
What year did the Philadelphia Eagles last beat the Seattle Seahawks? Looking for a year.
Ari is on it.
Ari's killing it tonight. 2008. All right. Let's see if this.
I asked Dion that earlier, and he said 2012, and I was like, even farther.
No,
2008's a long time ago.
The Eagles went 4-12 in 2012. 2008 is a long time ago. I was in 8th grade. I'm like 1776. Awesome. Thanks, Kyle. That's awesome. Thank you for that on Instagram. No.
I can't see their Instagram comments.
Irrelevant. Oh, you can't see them? That's annoying.
No, I usually can. I don't know why I did something. I don't know.
It's your fault. All right. Let's see if anybody can get this one. There were 2 touchdown passes thrown by Donovan McNabb into that game in 2008. Who caught those 2 touchdown passes?
These are hard. These are hard.
Yeah, they're not super easy. I mean, granted,
it's not a receiver you would think of.
I also can't remember who the other receivers were in 2008 other than these 2. But
Macklin? Was Jeremy Macklin here?
I don't think so. I think he was drafted in 2011.
There's Craig.
10, 11.
Craig, that's a gate.
Kevin Curtis is incorrect. Brent Selleck, also incorrect.
Great guesses, though, because that's like what I would think of.
These are good. Wait, did I type one wrong? No, wait, this has me thinking. Hold on.
Okay, that would make a lot more sense, actually, than what you wrote.
Let me just see before I do something crazy out here and tell people they're wrong. Give me one second.
You're wrong
Keep flooding with.
Yeah, because nobody has both of them yet.
Yes, no one has both. Someone has answered one that's an answer to a question later.
Fun fact, Chad Lewis, that's Dion's best man's name.
Fun fact, he is
Who's the better Chad Lewis?
Former Philadelphia Eagle.
Yeah, right.
That's toss-up. Just kidding, Chad. Not really, but that's it. He was on here before. He was around. Oh, no. Okay. No, I didn't write it wrong. Who caught those 2?
I didn't know this. I didn't know that. Okay, I'm going to give a big hint. I didn't know O-linemen could be active receivers.
They can. Dennis Kelly caught a pass in the AFC Championship game last year.
What are we doing? We're sleeping on my Lotta.
Bro.
Let's just do a screen out to him at left tackle and just...
Timeout. Jason Avant is not correct either. Timeout. Let's talk about all the BS 2-point conversion plays that were terrible. Put Jordan Mailata back there for the love of God. All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, we're frozen on here. Oh, you were frozen for a second and you were frozen like this.
You were frozen too. I wonder who it was.
All right. The answer, Reggie Brown and Todd Hermans caught the 2 touchdown passes in that game.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? All right. How many field goals did David Akers kick that day? How many?
Oh, the Todd father. You're right. That's a great. I love that nickname. Todd's an awesome dude.
Close, but no.
Very close.
But no. Very close.
A good amount.
No. Other way. Close, but no. All of them. Yes, he did kick all of the field goals they tried. 4.
Ari.
4. He kicked 4 field goals that day.
He's doing great.
3.5.
You are
Get out of
on
here. 3.5. All right. In 18 games against the Seahawks, the Philadelphia Eagles only have one, count them, 1 touchdown pass of 35 or more yards. Who caught that touchdown pass?
Hint. His name has already been mentioned in guesses.
It has. And the game occurred in 2001. So 19 years ago, the Eagles scored a touchdown against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't even remember watching this guy play.
I mean, we were children.
Yeah, we were literally like 6.
No.
Next year.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Not confident because he put the question mark, so he's not confident in it, but you're right.
Not Freddie Mitchell. No. All right. Last question. The Eagles have 4 100-yard rushers against the Seahawks since 1976. Who are they? Who are they? 4 100-yard rushers since 1976. How many years ago is that? 44? 44 years.
Yep.
4 100-yard rushers. It's math.
Yeah.
Smart. No.
You can,
really?
everybody can just do like one name each because there's 4 of them. So just keep going and we'll just.
This is one.
One. And then he's the most recent name.
Yes. Deuce. Oh, wait, where was it? Herschel Walker. Yes. That was one. All right, everyone's saying Deuce. You got it. Westbrook? No. Brian Westbrook.
Not against the Seahawks.
Not one of them against the Seahawks. Also no. Also no. So you've got the 2 most recent, Herschel Walker and Deuce Staley. I'll give you another hint. There were 2 in the one game in 1976. These other 2 both rushed for 100 yards in the same game, which is a think about the Eagles doing that.
Right?
Good Lord. Absolutely good Lord.
Yeah, right? Who do we think we
can't get
are?
100-yard rusher, let alone 2. Sheesh. Let's slow our roll. What a different time that was. It was not Carell Buckhalter. No. We'll give 5 more seconds. 5.
I was going to say,
4, 3, 2, 1. Tom Sullivan and Mike Hogan. They were the 2. Reno Mahe, get out of here.
Get out of here.
No, you have to run the ball to get a 100-yard rusher. That is true. That is a fact.
Which is why there has not been one in the Doug era or the Chip Kelly era.
R.I.P. Oh, what a shame.
Fun facts.
Well, I mean, one of them is the guy that should be their offensive coordinator right now. If we're looking at it.
If we're really being honest.
Yep, if we're really being honest. But let's hope that changes tonight. Let's hope it changes tonight.
One can only hope.
We can only hope. We're coming to the end of our show. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We went a little bit long tonight, but thank you to everybody who stayed with us. We had a ton of fun trying to get excited for these Eagles, which just proves to be more and more difficult every single week. But we continue to do what we do. We continue to have fun, and we're hopeful that, they will squeak out a win tonight. So thank you again for tuning into Week 12 Babes on Broad pregame live. Thank you, as always, to Bleeding Green Nation and SB Nation. Make sure to check out everything on Bleeding Green Nation this week. Our episode will be coming out hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday, recapping the game, which we hope is a win. While you are looking for these things, make sure to also check out our fundraiser. We've tweeted about it. It's on our Instagram. It's on our Facebook. You can get anything with this fun little logo on it of me and Sam with a bobblehead. I know some of you already have our faces. If you want our faces on a shirt, here you go. But right now, I believe it's another week because I wanted them to be able to ship, because they all ship once the fundraiser's done. So they're going to ship by December 15th. So the hope is they'll be here around Christmas time. But all proceeds from this go to Phil Abundance. We don't get a single dime of anything here. Everything is going to Phil Abundance to help provide meals this holiday season. Also, if you would like to buy an extra clothing item that you want to donate to somewhere like CHOP or Cradles to Crayons or something else in the Philadelphia area, send us an email, babesonbroad@gmail.com, and we'll make that work. Until we talk to you this week, cheers. Keep drinking. It might help. Keep drinking.
Cheers. Cheers, Instagram.